what you call the cell phone towers are powered by fuel cells. So we were looking at attracting investment for fuel cells, for mobility, for energy storage, and so on. So we were the first, but when things moved, suddenly you have people moving to either Joburg, others they went to Durban. So it was not a success for us, unfortunately. But we did our best. I still remember we went to Japan 3 times to look at Fuji Electronics, to look at, there are a number of companies that, Japan is big when it comes to fuel cell technology. But anyway, it was not a success, I must say. The second sector that we have is mining capital equipment manufacturing. This is where gold is with regard to the mines, because we want to look at where are the mines that are found in our area sourcing their material, either OEMs with regard to the machinery, with regard to the conveyor belts, with regard to ventilation equipment, with regard to a lot of all the components that makes mining happen. So we are now pursuing this one with interest, because currently we found that the mines located in our area are having a leakage whereby they're spending their money outside the province, bringing things from overseas and bringing things from Joburg. So we want to say to them, come and locate with us, because we have the facility for your suppliers, so that they can spend the money here. So here we're looking at your quarrying equipment, tramways, mobility underground, pumps, fire protection equipment, and so on and so forth. So currently, the heavy focus is for us to crack this one. And the mines at the moment, we can pick up that they are running away, they are having excuses, they want to reduce us to SLPs. We're not interested in the SLP, we're really interested in the real core mining and what they are spending on coral crops with us, and we will then give them space. Those that are looking for land, we give them land. Those that are looking for factories, we will build them factories. The model that we have with our SCZ is to offer a service in the land and the factories. The last sector that is prioritized is renewable energy. I've already talked about the disappointments with the fuel cells, but now we are looking for solar panel manufacturing. We are now doing some feasibilities with regard to identifying the players in that space, given the fact that, given our current challenges with energy, we think that there must be a lot of players who would want to manufacture solar panels so that they can locate with us going forward. Okay, to move with speed now, let me talk about the value proposition. What is it that we are offering? Why would you come to, why would we want you to come with us? I've already talked to the fact that we are closer to Pretoria and Joburg. The third quarter will then be cutting ribbons, launching the investors that will be with us, so that everybody can see that we mean business. We want this thing to run. And we have access to Botswana, of course. We have access to Zambia and Zimbabwe. So we want to position ourselves as a site that is closer to the different SADC countries. And so when you locate with us, you have access to those markets. And then, of course, there's an airport, Johannesburg International Airport. It is currently operating at less than 5% of its potential. So what we want to do, we want to link the airport because it's within a close proximity to ourselves, so that we can then look at aerospace investments, and then we can then look up what is produced in the SEZ so that it can be exported through the airport due to the practicality of the location. So we're currently working with the university, Northwest University, and some of their research and innovation projects, they would then bring them with us for location and commercialization. And then there's a TVET college that is 15 kilometers away from us. So when it comes to skills development, we can guarantee any investor that whatever skill that you are looking for, our TVET can be able to make it available to you. So in terms of the current projects that we have, there are projects that are looking at the vanadium processing, because when you look at Brics, for example, you have a lot of vanadium. So we're looking at vanadium processing, especially for energy storage purpose. I've already talked to the lithium battery energy investment that is coming through. We also want to do Platinum Innovation Center. Because we are a platinum region, we want all research about trends and new opportunities within PGM to be located with us. So in that center, we'll then bring experts from the world and host them with us, whether they're looking for 3D printing or different uses of platinum. We would want to host them within the Innovation Center. And manufacturing, both the traditional cement and liquid cement. We have engaged a number of investors in that. And a huge chunk of investment that we have now is with companies that want to do solar farms, so that we can then supply our mines with the energy produced by solar farms. I must say that we have now perfected the art of doing industrial parks. So we want to now partner with the different departments in the province to do industrial parks, and then to assist them with the development of industrial park. Remember, I've already alluded to that SEZ is technically an industrial park, but with special provisions, special regulations. In that regard, we're working with the Rustenburg local municipality. They've been given 300 hectare land by Sibanye, so they want to do an industrial park around Marikana area. So we want to incorporate it into the complex, whereby we will have a hub and a spoke. So you will have the main one in Mokwase, and then satellite one, for example, in Rustenburg. The Madibeng Brics has come through. They have identified land that they want to make available for auto industry, because Brics, when you look at it, is closer to Roslyn. So we want to attract investments that will go into auto within that space, so that we can link it to Roslyn, so it will be part of the SEZ complex. Mahikeng has an IDZ that has been lying idling for some time. So there are now investors that are looking at making major investments in Mahikeng IDZ. We are still looking at finding the leadership in the municipality there, so that we can be able to introduce the investors for that IDZ. And at the moment, Royal Bafokeng have also expressed an interest to do an industrial park, so that they can locate their suppliers for the Royal Bafokeng mines. So we're working with them, with the DTI, so that they can develop their park there. So lastly, We are in partnership with Bakubung Smart City because the PIC have said to us, if you want us to consider you for funding for infrastructure, we must now consolidate and do one presentation as a node. So you will have Bakubung Smart City close to Sun City, you have Pilanesberg Airport investments and new opportunities, and then you have the SEZ within a 20 kilometers belt. So we are now working towards finding a mode through which we can promote the three investments to PIC. Let me thank you for the opportunity to present to you, and thank you for your attention. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Before I call our next speaker, I would like to make a quick announcement. Because we started a bit late, it looks like our program is running a bit late as well. We might have to have our lunch at 2 o'clock, but between that, we'll try and keep the program very entertaining. We have entertainment that's going to happen after the next two speakers. So thank you so much for these engagements. It's been absolutely informative. I don't know if I'm the only one that's feeling inspired by the previous speakers, but the way it looks, I'm almost compelled to come up with an African phrase, because I'm always inspired by African phrases, that says that platinum should be valued by those that beneficiate it, because there's a lot that is being put together to ensure beneficiation, local beneficiation. Without wasting your time, I will call a man that I know is very passionate about platinum beneficiation. He didn't pay me to say these things, even though he is my chairperson of the board at the Platinum Incubator, but together we have been crafting the future of platinum beneficiation with youth and previously disadvantaged people. I was very excited when I heard that we are improving on what we're exporting and we are improving on imports. But more than anything, I think a legal detail that affects us as people that are beneficiating in South Africa is the fact that we're still exporting more than 90% of the raw materials. We are not beneficiating locally. As my chairperson says, we are selling jobs, we are exporting jobs. So allow me to introduce to you Mr. Takalani, Dr. Matibandila, who from the Platinum Incubator and a Mintech board member. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Dimasiar. I've actually prepared a slide. Okay, it's showing. My name is Takalani Mazibandira. I am a senior lecturer at the University of Johannesburg, the Department of Metallurgy. I'm also the chairperson of the Platinum Incubator in Rustenburg. Recently appointed by the Minister of Mineral Resources as a board member for Council for Mineral Technology, Mintech. So today I will mostly cover what the two speakers were saying. Some I will disagree, and some will have to draft a better future for the Northwest. Before I really continued, I'm told to say all protocol observed is not the proper way to say it. So let me greet the Honorable MEC, all the chiefs, all the ambassadors, all the speakers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity. So what I want to present is how can the province take an advantage to use these minerals to create jobs. So, I'm also a lecturer, so I do move around when I present, so do not mind me. So before I actually start, Honorable MEC, we are actually still sleeping in the Northwest. If we really don't start producing these products here in the Northwest, we'll be left with a hole to show that we had minerals here. Look at Northern Cape. We know the big hole. There was once big diamonds there. What's there now? I believe we can do anything if we really want to do. All these products, the fuel cells that he was mentioning, I will give you a different perspective in terms of the fuel cells. I was honored some few years ago. I went to Netherlands with the DSI. It was the DST at the time. They showed us there were 200 buses running from fuel cells. If it's not from here, it's from Limpopo. Why can't we do it? Anyway, my presentation, I'll cover the introduction, production and beneficiation of platinum, resource-based development. I'll also cover the mineral value chain, and then I'll answer you how. When I say how do we create these jobs? So, as an introduction, I agree with you, Honorable MEC. We are sitting between 70, some will say at least 85%. We have a big, let's say we have, let's agree on 75 or 70%. In Zimbabwe, we have around between 5 to 10% of this platinum. It's here within SADC, and the rest of 5% is with Russia, which is part of Brics. Why can't we use this mineral to be powerful? It's used in industry, in commercial application, in medical field. Why can't we be the powerhouse of this, controlling the world with this mineral? In energy, you need platinum. How many cars? He was mentioning catalytic converters. Each and every single car that is using, unless it's electric, we are using catalytic converters to convert the gases. Every car has platinum in it. So you are also surprised, the TV that you watch, the LCD, the screens, everything, that's why they steal it. There is platinum there. Why can't we look? I do not agree to say other products we didn't. If we have to go to China and say, hey, come and produce your TV screen. There's one there, there's many. Why can't they come and invest, you get your platinum here? And we start manufacturing those TVs. So the Northwest is rich in platinum group metals and holds significant reserve platinum with the Bushveld complex. So also there's a lot of legislation that also support the beneficiation of these minerals. But I decided to code the new growth path, which sees the mineral sector as a key job drivers. I'll tell you how. If you can go to the next slide. By training, I'm a metallurgical engineer. When I see this slide, sometimes it's really concerning. It makes me cry. Why? Look at South Africa, the highest in terms of the production of the platinum. The red is showing you beneficiation, non-existent. Where is it going? In Europe. Yes, most of it is being beneficiated in Europe and Japan and North America because of even the industries that are there. Automotive, it's in Europe. All other sectors that use platinum, it's with America as well as Japan. Why can't we even have a single percentage? We need to ask ourselves, Northwest, are we sleeping? If maybe if you don't get anything from this presentation, we need to wake up. We really need to wake up. We have an advantage. Yes, your advantage. So, I gave an example about Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So, this is the argument that I have. The key industrialization opportunity arising out of natural resources endowment is not just the opportunity to exploit resources, but rather the opportunity to develop the resource downstream, upstream, and upstream ways. So the linkages that you have, again, even if it's only in mining, when it leaves Northwest, it's going to Gauteng to be processed further before it's exported. Even if we are saying refining, we're not doing it to a last stage. What's happening? Why can't we do it here? I work with one of the biggest mining company in the country. They're also mining platinum in the Limpopo region. They are building one of the biggest smelters in the world. So, just before COVID, they were starting with the construction. My advice, even in the construction part, you're gonna give, let's say it's a tender, for example, this big company is coming to build this smelter within the province. My advice to them, you have a plan. The construction is going to start in 2023. Take these 2 years to train the locals. Rather than taking a building company, they'll bring the influx of people within the region. Some will start fighting. Those people, because they have money, they're even taking our wives. Simple like this. It's true. And then they will start toying, we're not going job. Even the primary mining will not happen. The mining company listened. They trained 1,000 people in construction. When the construction started, they hired people, they are trained. It was a year, the other 2 years they placed in some construction company to get experience. Even if they're not hired by that mining, they have skills. You develop skills for other purposes. So the good example, if you can go to a next slide, that's what I'm saying. It's the Canada. The opportunity is not mainly on the mining side. You need to analyze the full value chain. For example, the 3 linkages. I gave an example with the it's a furniture manufacturing also. The 4 linkages is wood processing, sawwood, lumber for construction, furniture, wood pulp, cardboard, paper, and packaging. You have backward inputs on planning, processing, machinery, equipment, side linkages, electricity generation, chemical and mining. If you can move again, this is your generic, your mineral mining beneficiation value chain. The first one, I do not think it's too visible on your screen, exploration. If you can, there's something on top, also on the bottom. The top one, it will give you the capital goods, geophysical drilling surveys, The bottom one, you have GIS, analytical data processing, and financing. And then we move exploitation, you have drilling, cutting, hauling, hosting. Those are another jobs that you are creating. And the processing, and the refining, fabrication, and then to manufacture the final product. You see, how many jobs can you create within the value chain? I can give an example maybe with iron ore, just for argument's sake. Let's say most of us use the car to come here. Your steering wheel is steel. So it started as an ore. You process that ore, maybe it goes to ArcelorMittal or so, and then you create a job in the mining company, the semi-finished product, and then the other way you go to a company which is actually machining and so on. From machining, there's someone who's going to wire it. The third one, someone will put rubber or for that steering. So you see how many jobs can you create within the value chain. And then he was talking about as well the inputs. Why should you import drillers? Those are the things that, what the advice that I can give you, you need to fully identify what do they consume. I can also share with you what the mines consume on a daily basis. There's a company that can supply that. They can manufacture and create jobs in the supply side, even in the primary mining. That's how, even if you check Boksburg area, there's a lot of manufacturing. They were also supporting the mining industry within the Johannesburg region. Us as African, my worst experience when I visited Mozambique, there's one big smelter, Moselle. Something broke down. They had to call engineers from Portugal to come and fix it. What is it saying about us? So we really need to wake up so that we can start playing in the economy. Yes, we have these reserves, but what do we have to show for it? That's what I'm asking. The next slide is showing you the PGM value chain. I just want to show you when you mine platinum, there are other base metals that also come with it. Nickel, copper, cobalt, sodium sulfate, nickel sulfate. Why can't we make product out of it? So I won't dwell too much on it. I think I've already covered. So, but we need to focus on the full value chain. This is on the primary mining. And fabrication, I will talk about it. Yes, I will talk about auto catalysts, jewelry, and other industry. I don't want to be theoretical at all. If there's any SMEs, I will try to deposit that seed on what you need to focus on. Me and Northwest Development Corporation will talk after this presentation and maybe we can align. So, how? Madam, please move. The how. I was happy when you spoke about the infrastructure development. Power supply, transportation network, and industrial parks. We need to have those industrial parks. We shouldn't just talk about them. If we're talking about mining supply, we should have mining supply park. There's an organization which is called MEMSA. It's a mining equipment supplier. They're based at the Nelson Mandela Mining Precinct. Engage with them. There are companies that can actually come and say there is business within the Northwest, if we're talking about the primary mining. The infrastructure provides solid foundation for attracting investment and support the growth of platinum beneficiation industry. Secondly, promote entrepreneurship and small-scale mining, support local for entrepreneur in platinum sector, access for financing, technical assistance, and business development support. Lastly, small-scale mining contributes to job creation, economic empowerment, particularly for local communities. Then skills development and training. It is very important to skill your people. Previously, we used to have, I think it was by Public Works, they used to train civil engineers, we sent doctors to Cuba and so on. A platinum province then needs to focus in this industry, like your metallurgy, offer bursaries within that field. Because when they come back, they'll say, yes, they're also coming to work at home. We really need, also as government, we really need to look at it. Yes, construction and so on, it's good for your roads. As you mentioned, those roads, most of the people who are damaging the road, it's the trucks. So if we trap those minerals here, you can also have nice roads, because we have industry here, you have skilled people. So to develop a skilled workforce tailored to the needs of platinum beneficiation industry, vocational training and apprenticeship, and specialized education program in fields such as metallurgy, engineering, and advanced manufacturing. Equipping the local workforce with the necessary skills, the province can attract investment and create sustainable jobs. Establish platinum beneficiation facilities, refining plants, as I've mentioned, processing centers, and manufacturing units that produce value-added products using platinum group metals. By adding value to a raw platinum, the province can capture a larger share of the economic benefits and create more jobs and opportunities. I did say I don't want to be theoretical. As I've promised, I'll give you the details of what really I believe can be done through research and as well as my own experience. So I believe that this is possible. In my previous life also, I was a government employee. I was in industry, and now I'm also in academia. So using that experience that I have, hence I'm saying we have done this, it's possible. If you check your neighbor province, Gauteng, they have some industrial parks now. You have your China Automotive City. Why can't we check those models which are working? So value-added products development, encourage the development of downstream industry that utilize platinum group metals, manufacturing of jewelry catalytic converters, fuel cells, biomedical devices, and other high-value products. Diversifying the use of PGMs, the province can create more resilient and sustainable platinum industry, leading to increased job opportunities. In terms of policy and regulatory framework, incentivize investment in platinum beneficiation and provide clarity and sustainability for business. Streamline administrative processes, provide tax incentives, and establish a conducive business environment to attract both local and foreign investment. Market access and promotion, actively promote the province platinum beneficiation industry in both domestic and international markets. Trade missions, industry conferences, exhibition, and targeted marketing campaigns. We need to increase market access and raising awareness about the province capabilities, more opportunity for investment and job creation can be generated. Lastly, collaboration and partnership. You have the university again in the Northwest. It was also part of the Hydrogen Society in South Africa, being led by UCT. partner with this university. I'm from a university. We have a lot of IPs which are in the shelf. We can work with public partnership and private partnership with companies. We have these ideas we can develop. You don't, government must not really focus on research. There are institutions which are there. We are shelving them because we are not entrepreneurs. The academic, they want to publish papers. We have great ideas. We just want to publish papers. But that can be taken by, said, okay, let's look at this. Let's work closely with maybe, for example, economic development. So, for platinum group metals value chain downstream products, there are some products that I've wrote for industrial application. You have caustic soda, electrical contacts, electrical resistance, chemical catalyst, PGM crucible, crystal growth for laser technology, drilling, cutting, engraving, high quality molten glass used for manufacturing liquid crystal display, LCDs, and plasma screens, specialty silicon, highly durable, waterproof, and electricity insulating material. This is just to name the few within the industrial applications. I've also mentioned in the use of medical. Platinum can also be used in, for treating cancer, for cancer treatment. We also developed in terms of, let's say, for example, for breast, they were using silicone. Now we are also using platinum. Those are some of the products in medical. Even the valves for the heart, it can be used platinum. So platinum compounds carboplatin for chemotherapy medication to treat certain types of cancer, dental prosthesis, dental inlays, crowns, bridges, platinum pens for thermographic analysis, silicone for medical elastics, gel components for several types of medical implants such as breast implants, joint replacement, artificial lambda disc, and vascular access ports. Osmium alloys, pacemakers, stents, neuromodulation devices. So the reason I decided to also not put them at once, you can have an industrial park just focusing on industrial application. You can partner with maybe some pharmaceutical companies and look at this medical. Yes, you might be using small quantity of platinum, but it has a high value. It has low mass. That's why the IDZ in OR Tambo is by the airport. After manufacturing that, those, even if it's the hard valves, they fly, we export. I've also listed platinum group metals, value chain downstream products for automotive products, airbag insulators, anti-lock braking system, petroleum catalyst coat substrates, auto catalytic converters, spark plugs, sensors, engine management system, electronic components, proton exchange membrane, fuel cells. I'm still in support of fuel cells. We are actually saying we're moving to electric vehicles with no electricity, while fuel cell can recharge itself. So, and my good case study was the Netherlands, where the metro buses, they're being run by fuel cells. There are many manufacturing companies that are actually doing fuel cells. And then I've also put a list of electronics, computer hard disk, television, game consoles, and other home entertainment system hard disk. That's why your PlayStation are very expensive. There's platinum there. Your laptops, optical fibers and liquid crystal, semiconductor crystal for lasers, some cell phone circuits. For jewelries, you can rings, watches. For investment, platinum, bullion, coins, bars, and ingots. There is another industry that you can call for waste, but I wanted to focus mostly on what we have now. What do you want to process other people's waste if we cannot even master what you have? Are we only deserving to eat garbage? So let's be the leaders. And we have everything within the province. In skills, if we don't have, let's start training. So as I conclude, I want to quote, it's a quote from the former CEO of Chamber of Mines Mineral Council, Roger Baxter. He said, and I quote, "PGMs are nothing without people, but the people of South Africa can make PGMs a critical industry for the future in partnership that are going to help to change the world. If we have a vision and a plan, we can take our platinum group metals mining industry to a new level. It's been a critical contributor to our economy so far, but by 2050, another 8 trillion is currently money terms in particular possible if we get it right," unquote. So, I also want to put something to the province. This is the last statement, actually. We have the Platinum Incubator in Rustenburg. I hear we also want to have a center of excellence. Let's start what we have. Are we using it to full potential? What government support are they getting? How many people within the province know about it? It's funded by CEDA. So it's a question, how many people, how many of you know about the Platinum Incubator? Where they incubate over 30 to 50 businesses in platinum. When it was started, they were only doing jewelry. Now, there are other industrial applications that have been manufactured within the incubator. So with all that, what I'm saying is, let's look at the full value chain. I did mention some of the products that also you as a business can also try to look at. I believe the Brics Bank can also come in terms of funding. If the government can take an entrepreneur who said, no, this is well researched, it's working, we have an advantage of raw materials there. We can do it, and we can create sustainable jobs. Ndolibo.
Thank you so much, Chair. A tree with strong roots loves such stones. We are getting an opportunity to strengthen our roots in minerals beneficiation. We can come up with a strategy to do this and a model that works, that has been tried and tested, so that even within the BRICS countries, there is a model that South Africa can actually flight across. So without wasting time, between us and lunch now, there is just one more speaker that I would like to bring to the fore from Masisi Zane presentation, Old Mutual. Ms. Praleni, please come through and you'll take us through this session. Then we'll have the entertainment, and go for lunch, and then the rest of the program we will continue with after lunch. Thank you.
If you could please play that clip for me.
Old Mutual's Masisizane Fund was born out of the conviction that economic empowerment through sustainable development will become the bedrock of South Africa's commercial success. 10 years later, Masisizane has grown into a fund that has changed the landscape of South Africa's disadvantaged communities. Together with the integral involvement of its public and private partners, Masisizane has become a beacon of hope for those who have entrepreneurial dreams, but often fall through the cracks of funding priority. A decade later, we reflect on the journey, measuring the impact and remembering the victories as we set our focus firmly on the future. This is our story.
One of the things that I'm not shy about is to bring back the dignity of black people.
I come from the rural areas and also the township. Can we really get out there and make a difference in the lives of the people? They don't get the funding from a financial like the banks. How can we actually throw the net wider?
From the rural farming communities in the Eastern Cape to retail franchises across South Africa's urban city centres, the heart of Masisizane has always been to unlock the commercial potential of the individuals it serves. It's this access to capital that has become the hallmark of Masisizane, supporting the entrepreneur so that they can turn their business from good to great. With the vision before us and our rich legacy behind us, the conviction to keep moving forward reaffirms our reason for being. We at Masisizane will continue to serve and empower this nation until the work is done.
Greetings, Honorable MEC, delegates, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pralini. I work for Old Mutual PFA. I chair CSI on our provincial management board for Old Mutual in the Northwest. And today I'm here to position to you what Masisizane can do for our people in the Northwest. You've listened now to a short 2-minute brief on the history of Masisizane and what it's done so far. But let me tell you, it started in 2007 in conjunction with the National Treasury of South Africa following the closure of the unclaimed share schemes and trust. Masisizane wants to accomplish through the development and commercial financing as well as business support, targeting our funds towards black-owned businesses, women, youth, and people with disabilities. If you can go to the next slide, please. My slides are not on. Okay. The people are very hungry now, so I'm going to go on my slides, even though my slides are not showing on there. Is that okay? Okay, good. That sounds like a lot of hungry people saying yes. So how does our funding work? Our funding works in 2 ways. We look at developed funding, where we look at businesses that are less than 5 years, business activities taken over, take place in rural areas, townships, and pre-urban areas. We look at developing businesses at least where the shareholder, at least one of the shareholder is 100% operational in the daily activities, and then requires end-to-end business support, and funding here is limited to 10 million rand. Okay, I am actually on slide 4, please. Okay. Then we look at the second funding support that we offer is that's to commercial funding. That's businesses that have been in existence for over 5 years. Business activities take place in rural areas, townships, pre-urban and urban areas. Management involvement needs to be at least full-time, at least one of the business partners. And then funding here goes up to 20 million. You can go to the next slide, please. What sectors do we finance? We have a sector agnostic approach to financing, to guaranteeing, whereby we guarantee success. And the qualifying businesses, the businesses that apply, that qualify for funding, excludes standalone alcohol and sin industries. Otherwise, we look at most of the companies that come through to us. What are the qualifying criteria? The entrepreneur must be, the enterprise must be a majority owned, 51% at least owned by Black South Africans or naturalized South Africans. The business must be registered with the South African Service, SARS, South African Revenue Services. One of the shareholders must be involved in the day-to-day operations, like I mentioned in the previous slide. The enterprise must be a viable enterprise with the ability to meet its ongoing commitments, including loan repayments. There must be a demonstrable commitment by the business owners, including financial or non-financial contribution. Who don't we finance? I think that's an important question. We don't finance enterprises with illegal, environmental harm, or unregulated activities. We don't finance businesses or business owners that are under debt review or under rehabilitation, insolvency, or in other ventures. We don't finance businesses that are filing for bankruptcy or under liquidation. We don't finance businesses that would cause damage to the environment, engage in exploitation, or discriminating labor practices or cruelty to animals. Refinancing of existing debt, unless this serves to strengthen both the enterprise and the Masisizane funding position. There is also a business accelerator program. This excites me tremendously. So what they do is they don't just fund your business, they give you support in the background. So the support that they offer you is to the SMMEs is through entrepreneurial journey and training, mentorship and coaching, through SM Tax. It's 100% Black youth-owned digital accounting and tax service provider that aims to improve financial inclusion opportunities while using technology as a main tool for a greater impact within the SME sector. In addition to providing financial education, we also facilitate access to finance and assist with access to our market and networks. The program is backed by world-class digital business support services tailored to the SMMEs at different stages of the business. And some of the things that they offer there is, number one is business planning. So if you are a candidate, they offer you business planning, a turnaround strategy. If your business is not doing well or you're struggling a little bit, they sit with you and they do a turnaround strategy. They do business diagnostics, they do business modeling, they do business valuation, they do due diligence services, feasibility studies, and market research for you. So this is some of the stuff that they through financing. And nothing rings so dear to my heart than what the doctor said. We have all the resources available to us. We have wealth at our disposal that is in our ground. What are we doing with it? Here, Old Mutual offers you the opportunity to a lot of our people to build our economy Thank you.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation that highlights the opportunities. I think now we're going to get entertainment that's going to take us through to lunch. I'm told that lunch is ready at 2 o'clock sharp, so while they are playing, I'm going to indicate when we can start maybe proceeding to the eating area. But for now, let's lend an ear to these wonderful young people that are going to entertain us for today. Thank you.